All right, here we are, grafting May 5th.
Hello, alright, we're doing a bit of grafting here, and it's really simple. We're grafting these Goldens over to some Yarrington Mill, which is a cider variety. What we're doing is we're leaving a couple of nurse limbs right here, and that's to kind of take out some of the vigor. And the reasoning being, we have big roots that are out here, and it's springtime, they're expecting a full tree, which is not there anymore. So they need to take out some of that energy, or we're going to get a lot of issues with sour sap and no, just too much vigor there. So what we're going to do is we've cut it off here, and we're going to look for some nice kind of flat spots on the tree here. So, you know, I see a couple spots for a tree trunk this big, so I'm going to use a couple, and these are the scions right here. We're going to put one right here, and a third one right here, okay? Timing wise, in Vernon, British Columbia, we do it when the Saskatoons bloom. So on the hillsides behind me, the Amelanchier alnifolia is kind of the white bloom on the hillside there. Maybe a week after apricots is a good timing in there. You see the balsam rise up there too. So we're going to make a cut right here, a little flat spot. We give a little twist with the knife there. If it really slips nicely, you can see how smooth that is in there. That's the cambium layer, that's the living part. The bark is dead there. We want that living little slimy green layer. That's the living part there where the xylem and the phloem is. Okay? I've kind of pre-cut some scions. They're sitting in a little yogurt container here, and they're just in a bit of water there, keep them kind of damp. I have a scion here, and a scion is basically, you know, at least 3 buds in length. Here we have a bit more here. It's 1, 2, 3. So, you know, it's probably about that long. So 4 or 5 inches long. I'm gonna just kind of roll it around. You can see how there's kind of different shapes to a stick though. So I'm actually looking for a flat spot. So I kind of roll it around in my hands until I see, here's a nice little flat spot right here. I'm going to put my knuckles together like this. This is a grafting knife here. I'm going to use the whole blade, so I'm going to finish up here just like a chef would. So I'm going to start here, and one nice flat cut. So in one cut, I've made a nice 1.5 inch, 1.25 long cut. Make a second cut here, and a little cut on the tip right there. Okay, so that's my scion there. About 1.25 inch there. Put my grafting knife in like this. Little twist again. I slide it right in here. I'm going to slide it down. And I leave it till it's almost in. There's a small green window on the side there, and that's it. Now what we're going to do is we'd actually just tape it up with some flagging tape. So we'll just do a couple here to kind of show. And we'll do the whole process here. And we'll twist. So you can see when you get into it, it gets pretty quick. For bigger trees, it's a little slower. If you're doing smaller trees, you can get up to anywhere. If you first start out, you're probably doing about 60 an hour, but you can get up to about 120, 150 an hour. So you can get quite a few trees done if you're doing smaller trees here. So I have some flagging tape. They do have grafting tape. You're going to need quite a bit for a bigger tree like this. I'm just going to start off. I'm trying to cover the base of this cut here. So you can see there's a bit of a cut here. I'm trying to keep out any infection. Any bacteria and fungi are kind of our enemy. So you can see as I pull this, I'm tensioning the flagging tape, giving it a little bit of a snugging, so it's actually going to stretch. I'm almost breaking, but not quite. And I give it a slight overlap each time, and I want to make sure I get that entire thing covered. You can see I'm going right up to the top there. The other thing I can mention while I'm here is with the wound here, with this cut, you can see there's a slight bevel to it. That's important that we have a slight angle when we cut it there, just so when the rain falls, it's going to kind of wash off it. So it's just ever so slight. Now,
Do that on purpose?
Tree physiology, the highest point is actually going to be the most dominant too. So, you know, this part right here, right around here, actually would have been a nice spot to put a sign. That would be our most dominant branch there. We're going to train one of these as a leader, and these others will train out into branches, and then this will cover up the wound. So if we have some grafting paint, I'll just give it a quick
Respect there.
paint there. Mysterious hands that enter the photo.
There was a mysterious banjo playing in the background of the last video.
So the most important part here is you can see I got the tips first, and then there's these wounds right here. If you can kind of look in here, you can see with a bigger tree how big a gap there is there. So we're just going to cover in that gap right up, and then we're going to cover this entire thing up here.
And this is special grafting paint, not yellow latex paint or anything like that. So.
Now some people do use outdoor latex paints. The issue is phytotoxicity you have to watch out for, meaning that certain paints can actually poison your tree. So you can see here I put a little dab of paint there and it's actually already sucked in. So that's when I want to actually come in here. And after I've done a few trees, I'll come back a couple hours later and even a couple days later and keep checking on that because it'll actually kind of go in there and dry off in there. Now this does dry with a bit of stretch, so it will cover those nicely, but like I say, those little bubbles will pop. And I'm going to cover this all the way around here. And particularly if I had a little wound that might have extended a little further. So I want to really cover that up. Alright, start here. And voila. This shall now
Awesome.
be a new cider tree.
Thank you, Nick.